All right, you can be able to see me there, right? Okay, cool. I'm putting a stopwatch. The efficiency of responsibility to protect implementation in interested conflicts in Libya, as well as globally, has been a global concern. Now, Africa is one of the continents that has faced interested conflicts than any other continent, and Libya being one in the case. 2011, Libya faced a rebellion from people that were not satisfied with the regime of Muammar Gaddafi. As a result, there was a rebellion and there was interested conflicts that took place over there. R2P is a norm that was germinated by Gareth Evans as a reaction or response from to Kofi Annan, who was concerned about sovereignty conditions, whereby the countries, when refusing, it was difficult for the peacekeepers of the United Nations to keep peace and to bring peace and security in the country. So Kofi Annan was actually trying to say that sovereign has been one of the things that leaders actually are using to protect themselves, not to allow the peacekeepers, and peacekeepers were not effective. So 2001, 2005, that's when there was a World Summit and it was approved by United Nations. That has become as a problem statement in the study, as the legality of R2P in terms of the three pillars that contains in the R2P, the legality part of it, because there is a difference between the legality of the R2P as well as legitimacy in terms of the implementation. Now, the three pillars that contains there, the first pillar states that the country has responsibility to protect its own citizens, our population, from genocide or atrocities, crime against humanity. The second pillar states that the state, if it fails, then international community will come and assist where it fails. And if that fails, it goes to the third pillar. That's when it will take, international community will take decisive as well as a timely but that means that there's no time frame in these three pillars, because it has to move from first pillar. Now, when you look at what happened in Libya, that was not the case. They just moved straight to the third pillar, meaning that we don't know how the mechanism of moving from first pillar and second pillar. So that is a problem. Now, there is also there are no measures in terms of how do we measure the R2P if it was successful or not. And R2P was supposed to protect, it was supposed to protect and prevent the genocide. In this case, there was a humanitarian intervention in the country, which through the military intervention. Now, there's no clarity in the R2P. Is it R2P? Is it the responsibility to protect it through prevention of the genocide? Was there genocide in Libya? Was it because the utterances of the Muammar Gaddafi that he said he's going to move from alley to alley and he's going to hunt down the cockroaches and kill them, and through the words that could have been an indication of the so the problem here is who should intervene, when this should happen, and why is it happening? Yes. So this leads us to the significance of the study. The significance of the study is it's divided in three dimensions. The first one is the theoretical dimension. The significance of theory is because social constructivism has not been explored adequately in the past published literature. The practical part of the practical significance of the study is that this study will refine, validate, and contribute to add more literature that is already there. The methodological part of it is when you look at the literature, there's not much that has been done in terms of has been addressed in terms of the same structured same interviews. So much of the literature that is there has been based on the secondary data. So this one will just add to that using the same structured interviews research. The aim of the study is to explore the efficiency of R2P in terms of the implementation in Libya, where there was interested conflicts. That leads us now quickly to research questions. Now, research questions will address the research questions will. Okay, I've forgotten about that. Well, the research questions are: what necessitated the responsibility to protect in Libya, and what mechanism, what necessitated, okay, cool. How efficient was the responsibility to protect in interested conflicts of Libya, and what measures or what mechanisms are there that UN can utilize in order to resolve the interested conflicts in future? The objectives are: one, to analyze what necessitated the responsibility to protect in Libya. Two, to analyze how efficient was the responsibility to protect. Three, to recommend the mechanisms that UN can utilize to use in interested conflicts in future. That now leads us to the literature review. The literature review in this will identify the gaps and identify the gaps and fill up the gaps in the literature. For example, Beardsley said that there's actually Beardsley. Okay, it's Beardsley 2017. It's a Blanchard 2016. It's Kingsley. It's Keynesian 2011. There's a Nittling 2012. There's a Queen 2013. There's a Queen, and then there's a Senkili 2014. So all these authors and contributors have not really addressed about the legality of responsibility to protect. And yeah, the theories of the responsibility to protect, the theories that we have used in this study are the social constructivism as well as the realism theories. The reason the justification of using a social constructivism is because R2P is constructed, so it will be able to assist us explaining more, and this will be, as we said earlier on, that it will contribute to the study. Realism was used because of the national interest of the members of the NATO as well as Libya itself. The methodology. The methodology is a systematic tool that is used to undertake the research. For example, the research design, the aim, the target population, sample technique, sample methods, data collection, as well as data analysis. The research design in this research is the qualitative explanatory research, and the qualitative is actually used in social studies, and qualitative explanatory research actually helps in terms of explaining the topic undertaken. The aim, the area of the study is Libya. The reason why Libya has been selected is because Libya was the first country that R2P norm was used, and probably the last country. The target population of this is Institute of Security Studies, and that is because these people actually are key informants in the topic, in this topic, and they're relevant. And Department of International Relations and Cooperation, because these were involved, South Africa was involved in terms of the coalition of these R2P. Then also the embassies of Libya, because this is our study area, and embassies of Britain, UK, United States of America, diplomats from there, because these are key informants. These are the members that were involved in intervening in interstate conflicts of Libya through NATO. And the sample technique of this is will be the sample technique. Wow, great, fantastic. The sample technique will be, the sample size will be 11, and the reason why there are 11 sample size is because the number has been narrowed to this, because we cannot, the scope is not, I mean, we can't go beyond the scope of the study. The sample method, we're going to use non-probabilistic sampling, and that is purposive sampling, as well as snowballing sampling. Now, it is the purposive sampling because of the knowledge that the informant have. And if it's the embassy, gosh, really forgotten. Yeah, snowballing is because the sensitivity nature of the topic is, there will be a referral, and this will make the research feasibility. Yeah. The data collection is a primary data collection and secondary data collection. In a primary data collection, the same structured interview is going to be conducted, and same structured interview is significant because there we have unstructured and which is open-ended, and unstructured and structured in interviews, which are short questions. And we're going to have also primary, secondary data collection through the already published works. The data analysis in this, we're going to use on the secondary, we're going to use content data analysis, whereby we're going to read, go through the literature and argue where we can and analyze the data. And we're also going to use the INTRASTATE version 8 to analyze data. Yes. The ethical consideration. Gosh, there you go. The ethical consideration, and this is we're going to adhere. We're going to get permission from the Regulatory Ethical Committee of Northwest University and adhere to the codes and principles of the Ethical Committee of the Northwest University. Through these codes are honest, voluntary, accountability, stewardship, professional courtesy, as well as the fairness. The outline of the study, chapter 1, will consist of introduction, background, significance of the study, problem statement, as well as research objectives and research questions. Chapter 1 will be consisted of literature review and theories. Chapter 3 consisted of methodology. Chapter 4 consisted of analysis, data collection and analysis. And chapter 5 consists of recommendations as well as conclusion or summary. Thank you. You're sad. You're really sad. But I tried. It's morning.
It's morning.
Yeah, it's morning. And I tried for the first time. I mean, reading.
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to like video me now?
No, I'm not videoing. I'm just saying you are my panel. Yeah.
Panel.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What are your comments, by the way?
Yeah, I was just going to go into those comments. First, I think I was hoping to give you, hoping that you're going to get like 85% this morning, but I'm very sad. I'm just going to give you maybe a 60. You understand? For starters.
Yeah.
Now, you started by not even introducing your topic. You went straight to problem.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't introduce the topic.
I'm sure that was good.
You also did not just, there's this slide of, this is the flow of your presentation. You didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
So if I go straight to your background, this background, today's background was almost too long when you're talking.
Okay.
You talked so much. And